Hello and welcome back. Last week I published a video about AutoPass, and this video created a lot of reactions, a lot of comments of people commenting that they either agreed with my assessment or also a few people who didn't agree. But the vast majority kind of was in line with my thinking, saying that the AutoPass feature isn't really worth it, is not worth $200. Now, from the people who did argue that it is worth, there were kind of two arguments. One was you can save time using this feature. There was even someone citing an important influencer, apparently, who said this feature is great, totally worth the money because you can save a lot of time. And the second category of justifications was this will actually prevent you from making a mistake in your project. And so if you don't ruin your work piece, that's totally worth those $200. And so I wanted to address those two comments in this video. The first argument is a time-saving argument. You save time, time is money, therefore it's totally worth to spend $200. And so I thought, we can test this. We can totally make an experiment. I am a scientist. So why don't I just take a couple passes and then I measure how much time does it cost me to actually set the depth in a manual way. So what I did is very simple. I just did a couple of passes with a 1/4 inch bit, first 6 millimeters deep, then I pulled it up, set it to 12 millimeters, and did the deeper cut. So that's kind of simulating what you normally do when you do a manual setting. You cut a certain depth, then you pull it up, you set the new depth, and you plunge it down, and that piece of time in between for that manual setting, this is actually what autosave can save you. So I did 5 of those cuts and took an average, and the average time saving is 7.5 seconds per manual setting. All right? 7.5 seconds every time that you pull it up, set the manual depth, the new one, and then plunge it down and continue cutting. So now what does that mean? 7.5 seconds per time that you change it. How can you calculate if that's worth it or not? And so obviously it depends on your project and how often you need to do that. But I thought I can illustrate one way to look at this using the salt pots that I posted about a year back. So about a year back, I posted a video showing you how to make those salt pots using the Shaper Origin. If you're interested to see that, here's the link to the video. So here, to cut the inside of the salt pot, I need 4 passes. Because it's about 20 millimeters, I take about 5 millimeters per pass, so it's 4 passes. 1 depth setting, the first one you need to make anyway, so I don't count that. 3 times I need to pull it up, set the new depth, go down. The outside is about 4 millimeters, so I do it in 8 passes. The first one doesn't count, so 7 passes I will save if I have AutoPass. So you can do the math. 3 for the inside, 7 for the outside, that's 10. Beautiful. 10 times 7.5 seconds, 75 seconds. Okay, so I can save 75 seconds per pot. How many pots do I need to create to save 1 hour, right? If it's 75 seconds that I save per pot, after how many pots that I've created, I have saved 1 hour of my work time? And the answer is 48 pots. Okay, if I produced 48 pots, I saved 1 hour of my work time. How much does my work time cost? Now that depends on everyone, depending on what your business is, right? For instance, this is my hobby, so I don't earn a lot of money with woodworking. Other people do this for a living, and so they will have an hourly wage that they calculate with. Now, I just decided for the sake of this calculation to take $25 per hour. If you think that's too much, lower it. If you think that's too little, increase it. Let's assume your time is worth $25. So after producing 48 pots, I saved 1 hour of work time, which costs $25. Now, AutoPass costs $200, so 8 of my work hours. How many of those pots do I need to create to save those $200? It's 8 times 48, or 384 salt pots. Okay, so that means after producing 384 of those pots, I saved the AutoPass fee. Okay, that's crazy because I'm never going to produce 384 of those pots. That's completely boring. But you can do the math. Depending how many things you produce and how often you have to actually do this manual setting, you can do the math if it's worth for it or not, or how many projects you need to run to save those $200. Now, I'll be honest, I continue to think the way I thought a week ago. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Come on, 7.5 seconds per time that I pull it up and set the manual setting. That's nothing, right? But all right, that was the first argument. The first argument was that you save time. The second argument was that you can prevent yourself from ruining your workpiece, right? And so I have to be honest, I don't remember a time that I really ruined my workpiece by setting the wrong depth. But let's assume that this happens to you, or let's assume I was just lucky, right? Then that's obviously an argument, because ruining your workpiece, depending on like the wood costs, right? You will have to do it again, you lose a lot of time. But that argument kind of loses a little bit of its power if you think that Jenner has a new feature which allows you to set the depth, the goal depth for each cutting line. So what you can do is you set for each line the correct depth, and the system will warn you if you screwed up the setting and you're trying to cut too deep. And so with that feature, the argument of you not ruining your workpiece is kind of moot, right? It's kind of not that important anymore. So that leaves us with the argument of time saving. And as I've shown you before, you can calculate that, and then you can figure out if it's worth it for you or not. And let me be clear, because some of the reactions were like, hey, if I think it's worth it, that's fine. Totally, right? I would never, I don't care if you buy AutoPass because you think it's worth it for you. So if you have AutoPass and you're happy with it, I'm happy for you. And that was it. That was kind of my little experiment, checking out how you can justify AutoPass. I can still not justify it, so I won't buy it, at least not for the time being. I enjoyed you being on my channel and watching this little video. Thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and see you around.